Hey you, get out your human lie detecting kits because today I'm going to be putting them to the test. Since we're going to be spending the next couple of weeks together, I thought I'd let you know a couple of truths about me so we get to know each other better. Today I'll be telling you 2 truths and 1 lie, and it is your job to guess which one the lie is. First, I'll be telling you about my time fading in line at Disneyland. Then I'll tell you about another time where I crashed my brother's car and blamed it on somebody else. And then I'll finally tell you about a time when I went to Florida for football when I was just 9 years old. Like, what business do I got being in Florida at 9 years old for football? Anyways, my first story about fading in line at Disneyland, it was on the Tower of Terror ride, which we all know as the Guardians of the Galaxy now. And we all know that ride goes up and down, and let's just say I'm not the biggest fan of those rides. Anyways, my first time being there, I had no idea what the ride was, so I just asked my aunt, like, what this ride about? Like, I don't know, I've never been here, what's this ride about? And she told me it's just a little kid ride, you know, Tower of Terror. I mean, it sounds kind of scary, but I mean, it's just like, you know, it's Disneyland. How scary could it be? Anyway, so as we're getting closer to the line, about to hop on the ride, I hear a couple people saying how scary it is, how scared they are, how nervous they are. They don't like the drops, and I'm like looking around, asking my aunt, like, what do you mean it's a little kid ride? Why are these people telling me there's a drop? And then she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's not no little kid ride, it's a big boy ride. So then the last thing I remember is her telling me that, and then I just fainted at Disneyland. Next thing I remember is waking up in the Disneyland hospital. Crazy. All right. Now that you heard one possible truth or one possible lie, it's time to move on to the second. My second story is crashing my brother's car into some complete stranger on my way to like a little date. I was on my way to a little date, and you know, I had freshly gotten my license. I'm about 16 at this time. I freshly got my license, and you know, what does a 16-year-old driver do? You know, I'm on my phone looking at the directions, typing in the directions to the spot where my date's at. And as I'm typing in the directions, I rear end some lady going like 3 miles per hour. At this time, I'm like I'm just like, my day's ruined. She's gonna call the cops, and you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even be sharing this. But anyways, I crashed into her. I pulled off to the side, and we look at the damages, and I'm just pleading. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to hit your car. And thank the Lord, I was going so slow. You know, there was no damages to her car. She had like a little SUV. I have like a little 2-door coupe, so her car really had no damage. My car had like a little hole dent in the bumper. So as she had let me go off the hook, I had another problem, which was telling my mom about this hole that's in my brother's car. So I was how to think up with a plan. Thank the Lord, I'm a quick thinker. And I had just told her, I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, but while I was in the spot with my date, somebody had backed into me, and they had just left, and they didn't leave no note or nothing. So someone just crashed their car into my car, and now there's a dent. It's not too big, but you know, it's just a little dent, but I don't know what to do. And basically, at this point, she really couldn't get mad at me, because why are you gonna get mad at me? It's not my fault. I'm just tied with my date, you know. So she couldn't really get mad. So she was like, okay, you know, as long as you're okay, it's okay. So thank you, W Mom. But yeah, she doesn't know to this day. So Mom, if you're seeing this on YouTube or something, I'm sorry. All right. Now that you heard my second possible truth or lie, let's move to my last. Alright, my last is about me going to Florida for football when I was just like 9 years old. Let's dive deeper into the story. So now I'm 9 years old. 9 years old me. It's my second year playing football, and my team randomly got selected to go to Florida to play in a tournament. We weren't undefeated or anything like that. We weren't good by any means. I mean, we were a little good. We were decent. Don't get me wrong, we were decent, you know. But we weren't that good, you know. The other teams that were there in Florida when we had gone there, they were all undefeated. And they're like, you know, this is some big deal type thing. And, you know, we from Chino, you know, who knows Chino? But anyways, that was basically stuck in our head the whole time. Our coaches were just like, you know, we have an opportunity. We're here. Let's make something out of it. So going into the tournament, it was only a 2-game tournament. We had lost the first tournament, which didn't hurt our spirits, because we came back and won the second one. And we were all happy. We were going to go celebrate at Disneyland after. Disneyland in Orlando. I've been to Disneyland in Orlando and California Adventure. Who could say that? But sorry to flex on y'all, but yeah. those were all my stories. First, I had told you about my story about waiting in line at Disneyland. Then I told you about my second story, crashing my brother's car into some complete stranger and lying to my mom about it. And then I had told you about my last story, going to Disneyland, or not going to Disney, I'm sorry, going to Florida for football at 9 years old, and just winning the tournament and having a fun time. So I hope you learned a couple of things about me. Thank you for watching. I hope those lie detector kits came in handy, because I need you to now tell me which one was a lie.